And like, I would like to ask the question about the GDP and GNP of countries. I mean, they determine how much a country spends, right?
No, it determines how much people earn, not how much
earn or spend. No, it's
different.
Okay, fine. Okay, but the question is, who earns and who spends? In the US, there are 45 million people living in poverty. And there's this incident, the Oklahoma flood, the New Jersey flood. The world was so shocked that the US was not ready for that kind of incident to happen. I mean, they spent billions of dollars on the war in Iraq. How come they cannot help their people?
So what is your point?
Yeah.
You seem to be talking about natural calamities. You seem to be talking about war. This is very
But isn't it that in order to help people, you have to like distribute the things that they need in order for them to survive?
Natural calamities are not part of this topic. That is some other factor in which it's not their fault that they're
exactly.
It's not their fault. That's why because it was natural calamities.
Actually, but what we're talking about is what kind of person is prepared for natural calamity? I mean, are you saying that
they weren't prepared to give relief to the victims? Even though they're such a rich country, they were not able to give relief to their poor people.
Are you sure the organization in which you took your definition from is willing to help?
We're not just talking about the UN. We're talking about governments in every single country.
Every government helps their nation if there's a natural
calamity. But not enough.
They don't help enough. The government helps.
So your problem is with the government, not with economic freedom. Your problem is with the government.
No, our problem is with economic freedom because you're allowing few people to own most of the world's resources.
Did you know that governments are corruption? Are you aware of that?
Yes, of course. Every system has corruption.
And exactly. Then where does corruption come from? It comes from the person, not from the system.
Economic freedom.
Exactly. So what's your point?
So you're talking about people's morality. That is not our topic. You're talking about corruption in the government.
Yeah, but
morality, people's morality.
Politics and exercising economic equality. I mean, you give people what is due to them, what they need.
Then morality is also part of exercising economic freedom.
In what way?
In what way? Many ways. Number one, freedom is
exactly. We want morality.
So you're for economic freedom.
No, we're not. We're for
economic freedom.
So what, you're saying that if we have economic equality, we won't have morality? Is that it?
No, we're saying that morality exists in both. And morality is not the question here. This is about economic freedom and economic equality, not morality.
Yeah, it's about economic
social responsibility.
That is more important than economic freedom. Again, going back.
How does economic equality promote growth? How does it promote growth? Can you cite examples?
Because if you're giving the poor... Let me answer the question. If you're giving the people a chance to get their basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter, and you give them a chance to education, they have a better chance of getting a good job. Okay. They have a chance at better wages. They have a chance at actually uplifting themselves from poverty permanently.
But you have statistics on this.
Of course.
Evidence.
I'd like to say
what happened, when it happened.
Do you know Friedrich Engels?
Of course.
He was the best friend of Karl Marx, right?
Yes.
And an advocate of economic equality.
Yeah.
This is quoted from him. The surplus in economic equality, the surplus wealth would be absorbed by payers
That's socialism.
and receivers.
We're not talking about socialism.
Payers and receivers would be melted down into one mass in a sudden, immediate operation, making a system, economic equality, comparable to that of a nest of insects applied to man. This is from someone, Friedrich Engels, someone who advocates economic equality himself.
Yeah, but he's a socialist. We're not talking about socialism.
But he was the one who advocated economic equality. How can you contradict
We want economic equality.
What he advocates for.
Socialism takes away a person's right to own private property. It takes away a person's right to own private businesses. We don't want that. We want people to have their businesses and grow as much as possible.
You seem to know a lot about...
We want to give them taxes, higher taxes, so that they can...
You want to give us higher taxes?
The rich people.
Oh my God!
Yeah, of course. Progressive taxation.
The more income, the more tax.
The more income you have, the more tax.
So basically, what you're talking about is not equality. It's more of equitability. So you're not for economic equality. You're for economic equitability.
I think you
misunderstand us.
Yeah, the economic equality. Okay, you're taking economic equality in a mathematical sense. Okay, let me give you again.
Are there numbers?
Yeah, equitable. Okay.
How can you say economic equality in a mathematical sense?
Equitable distribution in order to satisfy basic needs. For example, Polly has a husband and one child. I'm only single. Sorry, Polly.
Okay.
Okay. For example, I need 1 peso and she needs 3 pesos, of course, because she has.
That is really an example of economic freedom because, first of all, 1 and 3 are not equal.
According to satisfaction of needs.
Economic equality needs to be equal.
People can never be equal.
People can never be
in the natural sense. But they can be even. They can be even when you have satisfied their needs. I think
so you
exactly
failed to the point here.
No,
you're failing because what you're saying is equality.
Yeah, equality.
Exactly.
In terms of satisfaction.
You're supposed to be for equality, but you're not.
Okay.
What you're giving me an example.
No. Can you let him talk? You've already talked. Let my partner talk, please.
Okay. Since he's not talking, I'm the one who's going to talk. Okay. Okay, give me 1 peso. You give Polly 3 pesos. Do our needs get satisfied in the end?
I don't know. It's your needs.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I mean, okay,
You're being
1 peso.
literal.
Yeah. I need 1 peso, she needs 3 pesos. Because, like, it's her husband, and then her child. Sorry.
For example.
For example. But I only need 1 peso since I'm only single. But, okay, in the end, are we then even? That's the question there. Economic equality.
You can only be even at the start, but later on it will not be even because for the fact that if you choose to keep your 1 peso and they choose to spend their 1 peso, you won't be even already.
That is why economic equality is nothing but a dream. You know why? Because first of all, you're talking about distribution of wealth, right? Equal distribution of wealth. That is false because wealth is not a natural resource. Second, once you do distribute this wealth, okay, fine. You have 1 peso, you have 1 peso. Once you equally distribute this wealth, quote unquote, do you think that wealth will remain constant? Do you think that all of that wealth will grow equally at the same time?
That can never happen.
Exactly.
You can't grow equally.
It can never happen. So
but we want people to have their basic needs. Equality in the satisfaction of needs. Food, clothing, and shelter.
But what if, for example, Polly's husband, as you cited, is bigger and stronger? Yeah, for example, is bigger and stronger and everything. So will you just give him 1 peso that if he's still hungry after that 1 peso, after spending that 1 peso? How is that? Is that satisfying his needs? It's not satisfying his needs.
We're mainly
You're giving him
about
1
the
peso
distribution of needs. Like, if he can do more, definitely he will earn more. I mean, we are not disregarding any economic system. The proposition says economic equality is more important than economic freedom.
We don't want everyone to be equal. We just want them to have food, clothing, and shelter.
Then you're saying it's better for everyone to have the same.
No.
We're
not saying that everyone should have equality in satisfaction of needs. Needs and wants are different. You can have different wants.
Then you don't. Then okay, fine. If that is what you say, then you'd think it's better for people not to have more than others.
Well, not way more to the point that people are starving.
They can have more.
The world has enough resources for everyone, so why should people be dying of poverty?
Are you sure?
The world has limited resources.
There is such thing as endangered animals and trees.